Hi everyone, welcome to episode number 13 of the High Frequency Podcast. We're doing pretty well this year so far. We've got an episode out every single month, and today's guest is someone that I've been looking forward to chatting to for quite some time. His artist name is Ribera, and he's the founder and director of the Electric Rush brand based in Queenstown. I would be pretty surprised if you didn't know what this brand was. It's definitely shown its face around New Zealand, particularly in Auckland, Christchurch, Tauranga, and especially Queenstown. I wanted to get him on and chat about the brand as a whole and how it's grown to where it is today. We chat a little bit about how things got started and some of the artists that have been involved with the brand. We also chat a little bit about the festival and where it's going to be heading to in the near future. I also want to let you know that I am starting the high frequency parties once again. They're not going to be as frequent as I would like them, and they're not going to be based in Wellington permanently anymore. The next party we'll be doing is on Saturday the 6th of May, and it'll be held at Ink Bar in Auckland. I will be releasing some details about the lineup over the coming weeks, and it'll start at 10 p.m. and finish at 4 a.m. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do go follow me at Vidana Music, or you can follow the High Frequency Podcast page at the High Frequency Podcast. Without further ado, welcome to the podcast, Ribera. So Gwilym, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's been a bit of a mission of mine to try and get you on the podcast. Of course, you do run, and I think you started one of the leading electronic music brands in New Zealand, Electric Rush, which I really do want to talk about, and obviously talk about you as an artist as well and how you got into that. But one of the questions that I think a lot of my followers would like to ask you is, from an events perspective, how did you get started with the brand, and maybe give us a bit of an idea on the journey and how it kind of started all the way up until now?
I guess it just happened organically. I guess I'm just originally from Spain, Barcelona, and I just came here, and I was very passionate about electronic music. More like minimal at the time was really big in Europe, so I just came here, and then basically there was I couldn't find any of this music here, and it was very hard. So I guess it's just just trying to play with some friends from overseas. We're just trying to throw some parties, and but never the idea was the event. It was just more like just to get together and play the music that we like, and and it just went like this for a few years pre-our Electric Rush, I suppose. Just throwing parties, not selling tickets or anything like that. Just getting together with friends. I mean, any opportunity that I had to play the music that I love, I just took it. Playing for free anywhere. Like from after parties, places in town regularly. But I mean, it was quite hard even to play at the start, like house music. It was only one place that was playing house music. The rest of it was just top 40s, funk, hip hop. I was a full-time DJ back home, so when I came here, the only way to be full-time DJ was playing. I was playing under three different names, and just. But I always loved playing house and techno since day one, and it was just more like just getting together with friends and throwing parties, just playing the music that we love, and and then.
So you landed in Queenstown?
Actually, originally, I landed in Christchurch. I was living in Andorra, which is like a between Spain and France, like a lot of skiing and snowboard there. So some of my friends came to New Zealand, and I just came with my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now. Here, and the plan was to stay 6 months and then just go back to Andorra. And we stayed in Christchurch for 8 months, I think, and then we were about to leave, and then we popped in to see some friends in Queenstown, and we really liked it here, so I decided to stay one more winter. And then, then it's been 15 years. I mean, I always thought we'll leave. Up to 5 6 years here. We always think I will leave, but then got a cat, got a dog, got a baby now. So well, a toddler. So yeah, I don't think we're leaving anytime soon. So
I think that's the thing about New Zealand, isn't it? For us people who come over on a working holiday or come for a bit of a visit, and you intend to stay a specific amount of time, and then I know half the people that I know, including myself, we just never left. And whether you get attached to some of the people here or you simply just settle your life here, it's a pretty easy country to live in, that's for sure.
yeah, no, yeah, I love it here. I mean, yeah, we don't change it for anything.
Cool, man. So, what was when you started Electric Rush? What was, because you said that you were doing parties just for you and your mates? What was the turning point where you started doing ticketed events, where you started actually selling tickets to the public?
Well, I guess that came with the cost of the artist. I mean, originally we were gonna do just a one-off party. Um, I have bring DJs from around New Zealand to play to Queenstown, but I had never took the course. It's always like approaching venues and yeah. But I had a friend of a friend that hit me up if I could just host a DJ. He was in Australia, and yeah, so I got yeah, coming to stay at my house, and I sorted out a few gigs, and then later down the line, I saw that he was playing with an international somewhere in Australia, and I just asked him, what was the chances to be able to get him to come and play here. That didn't end up happening, but the connections I made just through that, further down the line, yeah, I had the chance to bring an artist, which was Marlon Hofstad. At the time, he had this really big track. It was kind of tech house, shake that. But he's an amazing artist. Like he's playing like kind of trancey stuff now. Like if you think like kind of job scene and stuff like that, he's a lot of the playing the same style. And Jobs is playing a lot of his tracks. Anyway, he ended up being the first artist that came here, and I stayed for a week at my house. And yeah, but it was there was nothing like this in Queenstown, I think, and it was very hard to sell tickets. I remember the first night, the night before, we hardly sold any tickets, and yeah, basically on the day, or just the night before, people start to buy tickets and end up being like, yeah, just got really busy. But no one used to buy tickets here in Queenstown because it's such a small place, and one venue is next to the other, so people just kind of go from one to the other. And but yeah, I remember like being really busy, and I don't know, I was just happy to be busy, so I was just like to the doorman, so I just let everyone in. I don't care, but they were like, oh no, we'll just we'll hustle a bit on the door and stuff, and they gave us $300 at the end of the night, and just bought breakfast for everyone. And I think back then it was just like just having a good time, like we were able to party with the music that we like. It's just it wasn't a better feeling than that, so I think but it was only going to be like a one-off. It's just like I had some money, and the credit card was some of my credit cards were maxed out, and I had a bit of money left, and I was just like, been 5 years in Queenstown, and there was never been like house music or techno like or a party like that. So I was like, it's just a blowout, like, and yeah. After that, people are like, oh, when is the next one? And I was just like, oh. I had zero plans. It was like the most stressful thing I've done in my life, because I was just like, I love DJing. And, you go somewhere, you just DJ, play the music that you like. Hopefully people like it, and it's just zero stress, like the stress of like having a responsibility to host an international and to sell tickets. And it's just, to not to sell tickets, to make them proud, I suppose, because for me, coming from Europe, and probably it's the same for you, you see all these people playing in massive venues, massive festivals, and then they just come here and it's 200-300 capacity venue, and it's tiny, and compared to what they do, for me it's more like, the embarrassment that that we're not selling out, or it's like small smaller space, and yeah, it's just yeah, it's more like the stress, I suppose. Yeah.
I think, actually, I think bigger artists who play in festivals and big venues overseas, I actually think they appreciate the small, intimate nature of New Zealand shows when they come here because they don't get that much in the UK or in Spain or wherever. So I actually think that it takes them back to their roots of when they started playing. And I think they appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, I would agree now. It's, I mean, Reality Rush has been going for 9 years now, and yeah, I think that the way I realized that was, they always said, "Ah, it's a good show. I had a good time." But I'm just thinking, these guys are traveling around the world, meeting whatever 200-300 promoters along the way. And they probably just been polite. But then further down the road, they always wanted to come back, so they're kind of like, okay. And then at times when I couldn't fit them on their dates, they're always like, okay, just let us know what date you can do, and we'll arrange the rest of Australia and New Zealand tour around your date. So then that's when I start to realize, okay, that maybe there's something special here, like. Um, but yeah, I think definitely, like for me, like playing a smaller clubs. Not that I play the bigger stuff, but like it's always like the, the best, because just people are just right there, and the feedback it's just straight away, like yeah, it's pretty special. I think like when you play in a stage in a festival and people are like 20-30 meters away, or it's hard to like to get a feel.
You lose that connection with the people who you're playing for. And at the end of the day, music is all about a connection with other people. I fully agree with you about playing smaller venues. To be fair, I've not played a lot of bigger venues. A lot of the bigger venues that I played was in the UK, probably like you did overseas. But yeah, I 100% agree. The smaller venues definitely do it for me. The vibe in there just feels a little bit more energetic. It feels a little bit more personal. It feels a little bit more intimate. Yeah, I love the smaller venues, man. So it's a good job that the majority of the events that we do here in New Zealand are small because it definitely ticks the boxes.
Yeah, and I feel everyone is more like locked in, and yeah, I mean it's an amazing feeling, like when the whole room just is going at the same than you. So yeah, and it's very hard to do that on a festival. I think that's why I think festivals they got like a lot of pyrotechnics and a lot of things like that just to make up for that. Trying to get that energy.
So after you booked that international artist,
Marlon Hofstad.
Malin Hofstad, that's the
It's
one.
a German. Yeah, he was. I think he was. Actually, it was just 18, turning 19 when he was here. It was just yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, no, I've never actually heard of him before, to be fair. So that's why I had to double check his name. Um, who was there was obviously a transition period there where you started to book international artists. Was the international artists just by choice for your own benefit? Like, did you have a particular artist that you want to bring over, or did you have a team of people around you that were feeding into who you brought from overseas?
It was a bit by choice, but I mean, yeah, I just established relationships with some people that are just good friends now, and then they'll always throw me some names and stuff, and I'll just pick what I think, like. But for me, yeah, I mean, I love all the artists that had that that they came here, so it's just an easy, it's like I've been like a kid in a candy store, like it's just. I mean, that's what I was getting, out of it. It's been like, I mean, for the first 2-3 years, it was really hard work, I think. And I always said, if I can just sign a paper that I'm not making any money, and I'm not. I mean, I don't even thought about money, like at that point, like I was just. And I still, it's like, it's just a passion, and just very lucky that people really support what I was, what my view was, because as I said, like, and I still now, like, I just love, just to do a party, and then everyone, the best feeling was that 2 days after, people will be like, "Oh my god, that was the best thing ever," and that's what turns me on. Like, 'cause I think 2 days before, I probably for yeah 2 days before, I always, for 2 3 years, I was like, I'm never doing this again, and I was just like, it's so stressful, because yeah, you just want to do. I'm just trying to pick the right words. You just want to do, fair to the artist. I just wanted. Um,
It's funny because I completely relate to you in a sense that when I came to New Zealand, I set up a brand called Progress, and then it went on to form a bunch of other different brands. They didn't really go anywhere in the end, but at the end of the day, I wasn't doing it for the money. I didn't care about the money. We didn't really sell tickets. I didn't really care about the door charge. It wasn't really up to me anyway. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanted to create this space where Kiwis, like-minded people like us, could just go and party and and listen to the kind of music that we were playing or listening to overseas. So 100% understand where you were coming from with the brand, and it's just beautiful that it's grown into what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 100% just happened organically, and I feel like sometimes people just, I got so many people hit me up on Instagram or whatever. They actually, I trying to help as many people as I can, or calling me, or can we talk on the phone, and they just ask questions, how I did this or how I did that, and I always go down to the same, and I said it once to someone, and I kind of stuck with me. I feel like I'm not into fishing, but if you like fishing, you're just gonna go fishing. Doesn't matter if you catch a fish or no fish. You're gonna go fishing, and this is exactly what like I was just creating an environment where I just love to DJ. What I was getting out of it is just DJing with this artist. And yeah, it's just no better feeling than that. So I never thought as a electric rush as a business, and I don't. You know what I mean? But obviously, a few years down the line, you just realize it's something bigger than you, I suppose. And now it's even more pressure, because I feel like every time I book someone, I feel like there's a sense of, I have to deliver something good. So it's like, it's not, I thought at the start it'll get easier, and it's not. It's just it's harder because like people have expectations. I feel like like it's just it's been mad over the years to be in in Amsterdam or to be in Barcelona and bump into Asians and stuff, and you never met them, and you just talk about someone just mentioned electric rush, and they all know about it, and it's just like it just blows my mind. So I, I really definitely feel like the pressure all the time, like so it doesn't get easier, I think. But yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, absolutely. So you've done a fair few. Obviously, you're based in Queenstown. That's where you do the majority of the Electric Rush events. Have you done any more events around the country at all?
Yes, we do. I mean, I try not to do much out of town. It's just always, I don't like stepping in other people's toes. But yeah, at the start we were doing some in Auckland because there was some match happening. So, but then a lot of other promoters started doing stuff there, and just kind of like we still do like we're doing once every 2 3 months. I think 3 months maybe was in Auckland before COVID, and then I slowed down a bit. But yeah, once again, I was playing as just as myself in different places around the country, and then a friend of mine, Dick Johnson, he just I thought let's do one as Electric Rush, and I thought like same again. It's like no one will know anything, what, and yeah, we just it sold out like in advance, and like that venue, usually they have international artists and they don't really sell that much at the time anyway, and then we just sold out like yeah. So yeah, we do some around the country. We do Christchurch, Auckland, we did Taranga, and we had some more plans over COVID, but obviously COVID changed a lot of things like that. Yeah, we might do a bit more, but yeah, after COVID, it's just kind of like we just took a step back and just kind of see what happens, because it's all it
Yeah.
changed quite a lot of things.
So, speaking of which, How are you finding the whole event scene post COVID? Because I've been having this conversation with a few of my guests on the podcast recently, and there appears to be a somewhat lack of interest. Not a lack of interest. That's probably the way to put it. But there seems to be less and less people going to events at the moment, particularly in Auckland, especially Wellington. We've hardly got a scene here in Wellington anymore. What's it like in Queenstown? Do you find the same thing?
Um, don't know. I feel like always Queenstown is a bit. It's been a bit different than everywhere else in New Zealand. So far for our events, they kind of sold out or just kind of close to. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very aware that what's happening around me, like in New Zealand and in Australia and in the UK and some. Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, I always say the same. I'm trying not to do too much and just look left and right before you cross the road. But it's yeah. The problem is like I love what I do and I get to have all these amazing artists, and it's hard to say no. And that's probably the hardest part of my job is saying no to a lot of people that I would love to have. But yeah. So I mean, so far in Queenstown, it's been all right. I think since after COVID, maybe there's been lots more parties happening as well. So maybe that's a thing. You know what I mean? Maybe there's too much going on. People are a bit more picky on where they go. I don't know. I don't really have an answer.
It's kind of a good and a bad thing, isn't it? It's kind of a good and a bad thing where, in a sense, that it's great that there's more parties happening because that means that there's more people wanting this to happen. But there almost isn't the amount of people out there to attend all these events at one time. And obviously, we have a very small population in New Zealand, and we've got to remember that this whole house music things, this whole electronic music scene thing, is still quite a small niche in the grand scheme of things. It might seem like a big thing to you and I, but to everyone else, it's quite a small niche. So it is going to be a difficult thing for I think a few years until we get more people back into the country. But I think a lot of people left New Zealand when they were allowed to. When they were allowed to go back overseas. I think we lost a lot of people in the process. So I think that's probably why the events are suffering too.
Yeah, I mean, in Queenstown we lost a lot of people. Yeah, like because it's like very touristy here, so obviously it was like zero tourists. So yeah, and I still yeah, but I mean, I think for us, for my party, 99% of people that comes they live here, so it's not like tourists or anything like this. So
Yeah, yeah, sure. What's been the biggest succession to date? Because I know that you guys have got a festival as well now, which is just insane. Like I've seen the moment that I saw that festival pop up, I was just like, "Fuck, that's so cool." So what is the biggest success that you've had with this brand so far?
I don't know. Like the festival was pretty cool last year, so yeah, we're looking to do it again this year. Um, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to say. I mean, I just, you'll always want to get bigger artists and bigger parties. I feel like, yeah, since after COVID, before COVID was just a snowballing, like everything was a snowballing and getting bigger and bigger and the parties bigger and bigger. But I think, yeah, we just had to take two steps back and, and yeah, just have a look, yeah, at what's going on. And it's not as many people as it used to be here in Queenstown. So I don't, but I mean, the idea is always to go bigger. I mean, it's just a natural process, I suppose. Like it's just the same that how the brand started. Like we didn't plan. Oh, let's do this party, or it's just kind of happened organically, and then and I think it's the best. It just kind of grew organically, and like yeah, it was very hard at the start, but we never thought like if we had thought about this as a business and how to grow it, it would have never been the same. You know what I mean? I think it was just like it was just throwing a party and just having a good time and enjoying it, and then you know, like work hard and you know, to do your thing for passion, and then see how things, how good things will come, and then opportunities will come and present, and you just take, it's just trying to pick the right one and just choose your path, But yeah, so I don't know. I don't have an answer for. But yeah, I mean, we had some big parties, and we definitely yes, some big artists, and the festival it's really good. Yeah, like yes, it's something else that we want to do, and I say we want to do because the festival is. I don't want to really associate it with Electric Rush. We're doing it, but I want to be his own thing, and then I'm doing that with Josh Butler. So yeah, so that's our baby, and yeah, so
You recently had him over to do. Was he doing like a music production workshop or something?
yeah, so as part of this festival, I got called this kind of day. We're doing. It's an idea that I had that I always wanted to do, and people around me, they know this for years, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to do more than one part than a party, you know, just doing a party, just give something to the community and stuff like that. So what one day is just it's like a music conference where it's sort of master classes with international artists, and you can go there and get to learn music production and stuff. There's talks and just yeah, just trying to create a community. I think what you were saying before, you came to New Zealand and you wanted, you know, to build up this thing. So for me, it's the same. You know, it's just not just a party. This is like something you can come and you can come the day before and come to meet with like-minded people and learn, from the best. And then the next day you can go with your classmates or whatever you want to call it to the festival and have a good time rather than just go to a festival and you meet people. Well, you know, while you're drunk or whatever, and then maybe you never see them again or whatever. But I think it creates a bit more community. Just yeah, being able to do this music conference, and yeah, just we want to tie it up with the festival, so it's not just a party on a field. It's a bit more, and yeah, we want to definitely keep. We've got a lot of ideas around that, and keep growing this every year, hopefully, and hopefully there's a market for it.
I love that idea. I think that's great. I don't see many other festivals doing that, so that's pretty cool. Have you delved into music production yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I was quite obsessed with it for many years, but
It's pretty obsessive.
yeah, I mean the whole thing. Like for a while, I was just like just DJing so much. I kind of slowed down a bit because it's just too much, especially having a kid now. But yeah, just DJing lots, and then I'll go to bed at night and I'll look at music documentals, and then I wake up and I'll be like doing music production all day, and then go and DJ at night, and I was just like that for ages. I did a lot of courses online. I have some releases. Not kind of the more like kind of deep house, I think. But I haven't done anything for the last few years. I mean, I've done some bits and bobs with other people, but I haven't released anything for a few years. But I haven't had the space for it. I had one before COVID, and then COVID happened, and this. But now, yeah, I'm gonna have we're just building a house, and we're gonna have like a proper space for the studio. So yeah, just that's one thing I'm looking forward to this year, is just to get more into again into music production.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, the whole music production thing's really taken over me in a sense. I don't really do much DJing anymore because there's not really any clubs left in Wellington. I was running a high frequency party in Wellington at Laundry when Laundry was open. I'm actually taking that to Ink Bar next month, so that's going to be a party again. But this whole music production thing, oh man, honestly, I haven't found something. I'm 36 this year, and I haven't found something that I love this much. It's just, I don't know what it is, man. It's like it's almost kind of like there's this whole creative side of me that I just never really knew that
It's a rabbit hole, that's for sure.
it is, man. It is. It's a big rabbit hole. Yeah, yeah. But I love it, and I've got plenty of releases coming out over the next year or so.
Oh,
So I'm pretty
nice.
excited with that. Um, so just circling quickly back to the whole events thing, because I would like to know your take on this, given the fact that you're very much into this scene. Um, where do you see the electronic music scene, event scene going in New Zealand at the moment? Where do you
Oh,
think we're heading?
I don't know for house and techno.
Hmm.
Um, I guess it's getting more popular, so I think. the likes of radio stations like George FM and stuff like that. They might not be playing the most underground things, but it helps people getting into it. There's different layers, I think. Like so. Um, I like to think we're in a good spot, but I mean, I don't know. It's a really tricky question. I'm not sure. Everything overseas, there seems to be like the club seems to be like less and less, and more like festivals, big things, and people seem to like want to spend more money just going to a festival or to things where they'll spend like 2 3 times more than usual than rather than going to a club every weekend. So I'm hoping there's not like this here. But I'm not too sure, to be honest. Next question. No.
No,
Um,
it's not a trick question. It's more so because I think we go through big waves
yeah,
in New Zealand in particular with this whole scene. And obviously, I do see that we're in a bit of a rut at the moment, so to speak. We're not necessarily in a rut as a whole,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there's definitely less people attending events. There's definitely less interest. And I do feel like that's obviously got to do with the economy, the cost of living, all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
But what I guess the question is aimed at is, do you see it staying kind of, if you rewind, let's say back to 2008 when you first came here, there was obviously no scene for you
Yeah.
in Queenstown. There is now. Would you say that we're going to go backwards, or would you say that you think we're going to go upwards and there's going to be a better scene than ever in the coming years?
I mean, I think it has to be. Like um, yeah. I mean, I, I just don't. I just do what I love, and as long as I keep doing it, I'll be doing it, and so I don't really pay much attention to. I mean, I do pay attention, but you know what I mean. It's like I enjoy what I do, so even if it's gonna be hard at times, I'm just gonna keep doing what I like to do, and then if it gets to one day that that there's no sin or whatever, I don't know, like what I mean. It's what I said. If you love fishing, you're just gonna go fishing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you catch a fish or no fish. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite aware that it's quite difficult out there, and I've been looking in the Australia market and New Zealand and in the UK. It's the same overseas. So some parties are doing really good and some others are done, but no one really has an answer. I was just gonna keep doing, what.
I love your passion, man. You've got some passion. I love it. I love it. I love seeing it as
I mean,
well.
it's what I've done for like 20 years. I just yeah, it's just I love music. I love music. I just you can have the really sad day or whatever it is. You can just get behind the decks or play music, and you just forget for those moments. And I just even here sometimes it gets quite stressful. Like with emails and contracts and stuff like that. And some days it's just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna listen to new music for like 2 hours, and I just, it's the whole world. It just turns off, and I'm just listening to music and trying to find new music, and that's, yeah, yeah. I think that helps a lot.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
um,
Life's not worth living without music. I try and explain that to most people. Not everyone understands it, but obviously, someone like yourself and within our little niche, we're always going to understand that.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter what music. I think all the cultures in the world. I mean, I just never met anyone that doesn't like music, whether that's whatever tango or whatever it is. Like what type of music. Everyone is always passionate about something. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into this, but music, it just takes you to places, and you don't need to be on drugs or anything. It's just like, yeah, it's just an amazing thing. Like, so I think everyone can relate, whether that's we relate more with house and techno artists that we follow, or whatever it is, Mexican music, ranchera. I don't know, like whatever it is, like everyone, I think, relates to some degree.
Yeah, man. So, a couple more questions that I have for you. I know that quite a big portion of the people that listen to this podcast are interested in doing their own events. Some of them may already do their own events. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned from how long has it been for Electric Rush? 9 years?
9 years, yeah.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned over that time?
Oof.
Or let me rephrase that. What advice would you give to people who are wanting to start an event?
I mean, I don't want to keep saying the same, but I think it's passion. I mean, if you're passionate about something, you know, it's just the same answer again. If you're passionate about something, you'll just be doing it, you know. So I think if you're going into it thinking about business or about money or anything like that, you know, I don't, you know, I don't think that's the right. I mean, I've never been like a business orientated person. I just done it for passion. I'm just very lucky that, you know, for many years I was just grafting that, and I was just doing it, and you know, I felt like I was doing my life was in a loop, you know, just always doing the same and not getting anywhere. But I was just like, I just love what I do, and I was hoping that something good will come along the lines, but I never sit down and plan as a business or this or spreadsheets or, you know, it's just like, if you you know, if you really have passion for what you're doing, then that's your best, you know, because that's your energy, that's your thing, that's just gonna keep, you know, pushing you. And if you just have a vision, oh, I want to be, you know, I mean, it's good to have goals, I suppose, but yeah, yeah, passion is the number one answer. I think, you know, passion for what you do, for your craft.
That's a good answer, man. I couldn't disagree with that in any way. I do think that sometimes you've got to take your head out of the whole financial side of things. And every single event that I've done, I've lost money on, and I keep going back and doing it over and over again. So there must be something in there that I love, and there is. You know, it's getting a bunch of people in a room together to dance to some good music.
I mean, it's
There's
not
no,
better
there's no
feeling. It's just,
no,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no, 100%, man. Okay, so final question then: what is next for both you as an artist, even though we've not really talked about you as an artist today, but what's next for you as an artist and also the Electric Rush brand?
Um, as an artist, yeah, yeah. I was just looking to do, I don't know if this year, but like probably from next year, to have more releases, to be working more on my own music. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably the main thing. Usually I'll go to Australia 2 3 times a year and play there. So I'll be doing some more of that. Yeah, just more releases and, you know, just trying to play some more parties around New Zealand and Australia. But yeah, definitely releases is something I haven't done in a while, and yeah, I'm keen to do that. And for Electric Rush, yeah, we just got this festival, so just keep growing that, I think, and then and trying to do bigger parties and just do some more around New Zealand. Just keep. I'm trying to find the words. Just trying to grow the brand, but like in a, you know, on an organic way, and yeah, that's about it, really. Nothing like you know, a special. Like I think the festival is probably the biggest thing that, you know, I want to focus this year.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Was last year the first year that you did it?
yeah, yeah. It was the first year.
So it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, it's in an amazing spot. You know, like it's in Kingston, which is like 30 minutes from Queenstown, and it's just like, yeah, it's just surrounded by mountains, and it's just, yeah, it's just an amazing spot. And for many years, you know, like we always trying to find a spot, and you know, we look for years and years and years, and just, you know, it just happens that a friend, you know, his mate just owns this place, and it's just kind of like it just happened. Everything kind of last year just fell into place, and yeah, we stuck with it. So yeah, I think it's not many places that you can go to party in, you know, an amazing spot like this. Even the drive there is just, you know, along the lake, and it's just, yeah, it's quite magic. So yeah, we stuck with it. Yeah.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. So we did discuss the option of doing a mix today. I know you obviously may not have recorded that yet, but if you do record one for the podcast, what do you intend to do with it? What can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do much mixes. I always find them, but I will do one. I don't know. I always have to, even if I have an idea, I always end up. It's just a feel because I always find it quite funny mixes. Because I like to DJ from what I got in front of me, but when you're doing a mixing at home, it's no one in front of you. So yeah, it's quite a tricky one. But yeah, I guess I like to put like some B sides together and yeah, just trying to dig deep on what I put together. But I'm some of the older music, but also like some of the newest music that I'm playing currently. Um, but yeah, it's hard to to play when no one is in front of you. But I'll definitely do a mix.
It's always interesting asking people that question because I always ask people to do a mix of their sound, and
Yeah,
not everyone knows what that actually is. Other people can describe it, but the artist themselves never really knows what that sound is. Well, 9 times out of 10 they don't. So it's quite interesting to hear your answer to that. But yeah, lots of sounds like lots of digging deep on the underground collections. I like the sound of that.
yeah. It's just yeah, it's a hard one because for me, I like to play everything. So like I normally play long sets here in Queenstown. So like lot of the DJs in Queenstown, I think we play all night. So like this Saturday, I played 8 hours. Like there's two back to back gigs, but normally it's like 5 6 hours in one place. So sometimes you start with no one and you finish that RAM. So I could have started, easily started at 90 BPM and finish at 135. So and I always like to kind of surprise people, like just play two three things or go really slow and then bring it up, and like I have to make it interesting for myself. So like you know what I mean, if I play the same sound for an hour 2 hours, I get bored of like I think so. I always like so the answer is like I don't know what I will mix, but yeah, I'll try to do this and mix.
That's cool, man. I'm looking forward to hearing it, and I'm sure everyone else is looking forward to it too. But hey, man, look, it's been a great chat today. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed listening to the chat. I'll put all the links to all your social media and where they can find Electric Rush if they don't already know about it, and some of your other mix, maybe your SoundCloud. I'll put that on the link in the description of the podcast below. So I hope you enjoy Ribera's mix. So, unfortunately, we don't have a mix for you to listen to today. I had a fair few people cancel on me in January and February, and I like to get the episodes recorded a few months in advance so it gives the artist time to actually create a mix for the podcast as well. Because I know that can be quite time consuming, and not everyone has unlimited amounts of time to spend on this kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, because a few people had cancelled on me, Ribera didn't really get a chance to send a mix because he did only have a 3 week turnaround time, which is absolutely not enough time to really do one. Plus, he's got a heap of international artists coming over for Electric Rush events in Queenstown, and I'm sure he's prioritizing that and he's really, really busy with it. But instead, I'm going to link you to his SoundCloud in the description of the podcast below and also on the Instagram page. And yeah, feel free to go over, listen to some of his mixes, and show him some love over there. I want to thank Willem once again for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate his time. Finally, I just want to reiterate that our next high frequency party will be in Auckland on the 6th of May, and that will start at 10 p.m. and go till 4 a.m. I'm going to be releasing some info about the artists that are playing on the night over the coming weeks, so please do look out for that. And yeah, we'd really appreciate you coming along, showing some support, and making Ink Bar know what a true party looks like. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. The next episode will be out towards the end of April, and I've got some pretty awesome guests coming out on the podcast over the next few months that I'm really excited to show you guys. So, yeah, thank you again for your continued support, and hopefully we'll see you at the night in Auckland on the 6th of May. Thanks, guys. Take care.